We can start.
So a very good morning and welcome you all to this very exciting panel discussion forum of this 2 days long E-Symposium on building innovation and entrepreneurial ecosystem in educational institution. Today we have with us a very talented, energetic and successful young entrepreneur, Mr. Ankit Agarwal. He is the founder CEO of Fool.com, a Kanpur-based flower recycling private limited, a social enterprise that has pioneered the flower recycling technologies to reduce the pollution in rivers Ganges by up recycling the vast quantities of flower temple waste in India. The company mainly empowers and employs women. Recognized by Forbes, Fortune, and Stanford Social Review, Full.com is driving system to change in a community that has been exploited for centuries by creating opportunities and revolutionizing the way India handles the million-ton temple waste disposal. Ankit was named a Queen's Young Leader in 2017 and is both an echoing green and acumen flow. Ankit is amongst the 21 young leaders selected for extraordinary skills by the Asia Society and recently received the prestigious United Nations Young Leader for Sustainable Development Goal, the Takeda Young Global Entrepreneur Award, the Unilever Young Entrepreneur Award, the GSG Millionaire Honor, a few more. So now, Ankit, over to you to go ahead with your presentation.
Thank you so much, sir. I'll quickly share my screen. So every year, more than 500 million of us Hindus, we go to temples and we offer nature in its purest form, that is flowers to the gods. But hardly does anyone think what happens to these flowers afterwards. Sadly, these sacred flowers are dumped into the river bodies like the river Ganges. Every year, we Indians put in about 8 million tons of waste flowers in our rivers. Flowers that are loaded with pesticides, flowers that rot, flowers that create a havoc in the fragile ecosystem of the water body. The pesticides and insecticides used to grow these flowers mixes with the river water, then finally leaches into the groundwater, causing irreversible damage. The sheer volume of flowers is overriding the biophysical stability of the water of the river Ganges. This is one of the leading causes of dysentery, cholera, hepatitis, which in turn is the leading issue for child mortality across India and Bangladesh, affecting lives of more than 420 million people like you and me. Up till 4 years back, I knew nothing about all of this. So I have a Czech friend. His name is Jakub. We call him Kuba. He had once come down to India. And I belong to Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh. And in my town, there are not many places that I can take someone to visit. So I took my friend Kuba to the ghats of the river Ganges. Luckily, unluckily, that date was Makar Sankranti, which is fast approaching on the 14th January. So what happens on Makar Sankranti is farmers, everyone take a dip in the river Ganges and thank the Surya god, for the new harvest to come in. And it's a festival that is celebrated very heavily in the northern part of the country. So Kuba and I sat on the ghats of this river Ganges and he started counting. He counted around 147 people, including women and small children, taking a dip in the river Ganges. And the water turned out to be so dirty that we didn't even want to touch it. So Kuba was very intrigued. He started questioning me. Why are these people doing this? And I told him, this is river Ganges. This is our goddess. It has self-healing properties. Nothing will happen to us. This is our mother, XYZ. Then he said that if this river is so revered, it has such a high religious significance, then why is it so dirty? And the reasons were numerous. There is fecal sludge, refuse from tanneries, open drains, everything used to go into the river. And I tried to explain him, and he suddenly said, why don't you do something about it? And I was like, boss, this is not Europe. This is India. This is Kanpur. You can't do anything about it. This is the river Ganges. Like, you can't imagine the size. This is very big, from Himalaya to Calcutta. And The moment I said this, a nearby temple dumped in a tempo full of flowers in the water. And what happened was all the pesticides that were there in the flower water started leaching on the surface of the water. And I was like, wow, I have seen my parents put temple waste in the water. My grandparents used to do this. Everyone I know puts temple waste in the water. No one has ever thought of temple waste as pollution. So that is how the seed was sown. I went back to Pune, Semantic, where I used to work. I spent the next 6 months working on prototypes of what can be done with these waste flowers. I studied the complete life cycle of a flower. Where does it come from? Where does it go? Who are the different stakeholders? What products can be made? Is the government doing something? Is any private body doing something? And I decided to quit my job and started Fool.co. I invested the 72,000 rupees I had, and the first product that we made was charcoal-free incense. So normally incense that is available in the market is made from charcoal. So through our tech, we replaced the charcoal from the incense, and we, instead of using perfumes or any synthetic alcohol or things like that, we started dipping incense in pure essential oils. So we guaranteed that our incense are charcoal-free and sulfur-free. Today, we are the fastest selling incense in the country that sells online. Uh, we've every minute we sell a pack. We've also moved ahead. Let me quickly walk you through the process. Our vehicles go to temples every day. They collect all the waste. These waste are brought to our facility where first all the paper, pattar, plastic, milk packets, everything are segregated out. Then we spray our own bioculum to offset any pesticide residue that might be there. These flowers are then cleaned, sun dried, and depending upon their carotenoid level, these flowers are either used to make incense or other products. Now, what we've also done is we've moved a step ahead. We have today invested more than $1 million into establishing the world's first dedicated R&D for temple flowers. On the screen, what you're seeing is styrofoam. Styrofoam, or as we Indians call it, thermocol, is the fifth biggest pollutant on earth. As of now, mankind does not know a way to recycle thermocol. You have to either burn it or you have to throw it into the ground. The saddest part is that 91% of thermocol is single use. Like for example, if you get a refrigerator or something which is packed in styrofoam, you won't keep the styrofoam at your home, you'll throw it. So at Fool, we've been able to make a material which we call it Florafoam, that behaves exactly like styrofoam and is made from flour and stubble waste. And I'm not even claiming that this is biodegradable. I'm going a step ahead. I am claiming that this material is home compostable. The moment this material gets completely submerged into soil bacteria, this compost into 45 days. We've also moved ahead. So this is an image. I know it's very gross. Each time I look at this image, my stomach churns. Now let's spend a second on the leather industry. So leather industry is a byproduct of the livestock industry. And together, these two industries consume around 23% of the Earth's greened land mass. 27% of the Earth's fresh water supply goes to this industry. And in return, this gives us around 30% of the total methane emissions, which is highest across the globe. I'm happy to share that at Fool, we've been able to discover a way to convert temple waste into a material that behaves exactly like leather. We are calling it leather. This material is engineerable into any kind of height, size, strength, tensile, elasticity, anything that you want. And even our tech is ultra sustainable. For example, if you want like a large size of hide, a cow or a buffalo takes about 3 years to grow to that full size. We do the same thing in our labs in 3 weeks. We've recently just signed our first pilot with PVH, which is the holding company for Tommy Hilfiger and Calvin Klein. This is the same ghat that I'd taken Cuba like 4 years ago. You will see, we ensure that not a single flower from Kanpur goes into the water today. But what's closest to my heart is the choice of the people that we've been able to employ. So in India, there are manual scavengers. So manual scavengers are people who jump neck deep into clogged sewers and scrape human feces from dry toilets, keep it up on their heads, and finally walk kilometers to dispose of the excreta. It's a very big taboo. People don't want to even talk about it. This is not a topic that people would want to discuss on. I'm happy to share that at Fool, we've currently employ around 127 women full time. And we've now trained them to convert to dry the flowers, sort them, and make incense and leather. I'll quickly share about Prema. So Prema was almost, I think, a 23rd employee, and like we had just begun our operations. It was like 7 to 8 months, and one day she started distributing sweets in the factory. And I asked her, why we are so many people? We were 50 then. Why are you wasting money? So she said, no, I'm very happy. I'll distribute half a sweet today, but मैं लड्डू जरूर बांटूंगी. And I asked her what happened. So she said, I bought a refrigerator today. And I was like, कि अम्मा आपने already fridge में पैसा डाला, आपको लड्डू में क्यों कर रहे हो? So she was like, when I was 19 years old, the place where I used to go to clean the toilets, I asked the owners to give me like cold water. They didn't want me to touch their utensils, so they didn't give me the water. At that point in time, she decided that somewhere in her life she would want to have her own refrigerator. So after working with Fool for about 6 months, she was not only able to save enough money to buy that refrigerator, but her so-called upper class neighbors, their children came and had water from her refrigerator. And she said that now my children are equal to their children and I can die peacefully. So my work is not just about cleaning waste on the lands or innovating from waste, but it is also about cleaning what our earlier generations had done. So we've built this enterprise very frugally. Everyone I met earlier used to say, I've gone mad. This can never happen. Today, we've sold products worth $3 million in sales. We have raised about $2 million in equity. We have got accolades several across the globe. And this is a whole picture of our team. Today, we are almost triple the size. So now I think we can open up for any questions that you might have.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ankit, for your motivating talk.
Sure.
Your company is doing a great job on recycling tons of flower waste from
Yes.
temples to produce value-added products.
Yes.
Produce charcoal-free incense and organic and biodegradable packaging material, etc. So in the process, it's not only clean the rivers of our country, but also providing healthy livelihoods of the women, flower recyclers. It sets a true example of circular economy. So now just I want to know what triggers you to come to this innovative solution, that you quit your job and to come to this innovative solution of entrepreneurial field. So what mainly triggers you to come to the solution? Could you please explain briefly?
Sure. So as I mentioned in the talk, so this was simply an act of serendipity when when Kuba, my friend, and I were sitting on the ghats of the Ganges, and the sheer questioning of maybe a foreigner, that he started giving me examples that the river Thames in the UK or the river Rhine in Paris were even dirtier than what our river Ganges was at that point in time. And he said that I couldn't believe it, and we Googled. So we found that river Thames and river Rhine were at one point in time even dirtier, and they had cleaned it. So I was really provoked by that, and I felt that why not us? Why we Indians who care so much about the river Ganges? Why can't we do this? So that was the flipping point or the turning point for me.
Right. So I just want to know that as of now, also you can observe in your website also that you can make incense from that the recycling flowers material, also packaging material also. So what is the other kind of product, value-added product you are preparing from the flower waste, and in your future plan, you can prepare various value-added product from the flower waste. Could you please mention?
Sure. So currently, see, in my city, Kanpur is very famous for its leather as well. So leather, as I mentioned in the talk again, is a byproduct of the livestock industry. And so what we are now doing is, like since the past 3 years, with the help of IIT Kanpur, we've been able to make a material that behaves exactly like animal leather, but is made from flower waste. So, and we are calling this material as leather. That means floral leather. So that is our moonshot, our next big innovation. And currently we have we've just moved out of IIT Kanpur 8 months back. We have built our own facility to manufacture around 1,200 square feet of this material every single day. We've signed a pilot with PVH Corp, which is a European group which is the holding company for Tommy Hilfiger and Calvin Klein brand. We are supplying hides of this materials to this company, and they will be first manufacturing bags, shoes, and belts out of these material, which will be piloted across the globe.
The leather substitute of leather that you are preparing from flowers. So I just wondering, what is the durability and the longevity in compared to the traditional leather?
Okay. So, for example, the traditional leather can stand up till 55,000 wash cycles. So, our material as of date can do around 47,000 cycles. We've got even the skin sensitization certification from IIRT, and we've even got the PETA vegan certification. We were even awarded at the Lakme Fashion Week in 2020, where our material was tested alongside all the other artificial leather materials that are there. The difference is that the artificial leather materials that are available in the market, or we call them ragzine, they are non-porous. So, for example, if your car back seat is made from ragzine material, you will feel that during summers there is sweat, which, for example, when your body perspires, the sweat then goes onto the seat and it forms a layer over there. If the car seat cover is made from leather, this does not happen because leather is exactly like leather and is porous and water wicking. What that means is air passes through it, like similar जैसे leather में air pass होता है, it's like similar exactly like that material. And the best part is our material can be engineered. So for example, if you tell us that we need a tensile strength of 15 megapascal, so we can do that. If you say we want a soft material which behaves like sheep, we want a hard leather material, we want for belts, or you want a suede finish, anything you want can be engineered while doing the manufacturing process itself.
So the cost also comparable or little bit higher side? Any cost?
Actually, yeah. So actually, it's cheaper than the manufacturing is cheaper than leather because, for example, take any animal, right? So you have to feed that animal for so much. So currently, we are working on a global pricing strategy. So that like our cost for R&D, like we spend around $1.5 million. We even got funds from BIRAC. So IIT Kanpur has been a champion in terms of all the R&D, and BIRAC had given us the big grant to like pursue this research. And the thing is that not in India, but companies in the US and Germany, about more than $200 million have gone into this R&D over there. People are trying to find substitute to leather by making artificial collagen skins and things like those. So I think for us, this is also a chance to put India on the innovation roadmap, that something similar is currently being done in India as well.
And one thing that you are doing wonderful job, the cleaning river Ganges sound the area of Kanpur. So
Yes.
as you know that the Ganges from the Himalayas to Kolkata, so there are many temples beside the Ganges. So obviously the flower waste also coming the long way. So what is your expansion plan? So right now we are in the base in Kanpur. So do you have any expansion in the future?
So for the past 6 months, we've been collecting the waste flowers in our Prime Minister's constituency, Varanasi. We have also signed a MOU with the Sri Kashinath Vishwanath Temple, and every day we pick up flowers from there. Like just to give you an example, on the eve of New Year, around 5 lakh devotees had visited the temple, and we collected around 28 tons of flower from that temple that day. And I'm happy to share that in the coming year, in this year 2022, we will be setting up 2 more units along the river Ganges, and we have allocated the funds and everything for that as well.
So Ankit, just one last question. I want to know your message for our future entrepreneurs, especially from educational institution. As you know, the whole symposium, especially for the educational institution. So what will be your message for our future entrepreneur?
So I have 3 things to say. One, so currently what I do is all related to biochemistry, bioengineering, deep tech, science, and you won't believe after class 10th, I have not touched chemistry at all or even biology. I studied computers. I'm a computer engineer, worked in the computer engineering field. Still today, I'm able to do this. So I would give that credit maybe to the Indian education system or the colleges that we are in, because in our colleges, especially in an engineering college, what we're basically taught is the problem solving skill, and that maybe any problem, any kind of problem, it does not very essentially is focused on the discipline. So that's one. I built my skill set of pitching, fundraising while in the fourth year of my engineering, where we by the form of education that we have, every fourth year in engineering has a BE project, which is your final year project, or a internship. So where what I did was I took my project and started presenting it in different various forums as a paper plan competition, a paper presentation competition, or a poster plan competition. That is how I used to like get to meet more people, get more ideas, build that confidence. Yes, that something even out of the box is possible, and that too sitting in my own college, just doing normal college grade stuff. So I think that is something that everyone should harness, all students. And the third and the final point is that if you want to do something, go do it. There will be people who will come and tell you, "ये possible नहीं है, ये नहीं हो सकता." Things like that. Everyone will tell you those things. But if you give it a shot, you will at least feel कि चलो मैंने try कर लिया. Whether it works, does not work, it's immaterial. But if you just try, it gives you certain experience. Even if you fail, it's super fine. It's absolutely normal. So the Indians don't like appreciate failure too much, but I think at this age, this time, I think it's worth trying. So whenever you feel you want to do something, go give it a shot. Don't think कि ये कौन सोचेगा, ये क्या होगा, वो क्या होगा, XYZ. Go do it. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ankit. It is a very inspiring and very fruitful presentation. So thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care. Thank you.